what I'm going to be doing in the first 10 hours of GTA 6, and to be honest, most people would call it a waste of time, but they would be wrong. And if you actually care about what Rockstar has built, then I think you should be doing it too. When the game is out, so many people are just gonna blow through the whole thing within a week. They're gonna open the game, they're gonna finish the story, they're gonna unlock the full map, and just continue to chase objectives, and to be honest, they're going to miss it. And I'm talking about the stuff that Rockstar spent almost a decade building that so many people don't really seem to appreciate. The NPC schedules, crowd reactions, whether that actually changes the behavior of the NPCs and the full world around you. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is a great example of this because it implemented it to perfection. It had a whole town that would wake up in the morning, go to work, come home. They had full schedules that actually had opinions on you based on things that you did hours ago or even days. And it's really sad to see because so many people just blew through that game and missed so much of the detail. And I think GTA 6 is going to sort of act as a similar trap to Red Dead Redemption 2 in the sense that it's going to be a much bigger game, it's much shinier, so many different activities to do, and I feel like a lot of people are just going to miss the small details immediately, and I kind of want to do the exact opposite. I don't want to focus so much on the missions and the icons, I just want to focus on the mechanics of the game. The tiny small details that so many people only realize after playing for months or even years of the game. Like, oh, when the character is facing the sun, you can actually see the sun shining through their ears, as seen in like Red Dead Redemption 2. And so I have like a list of small things that on the surface seem kind of meaningless to do that I really want to do on the first day of GTA 6. So the first thing I want to do is test the police and the crime system. So GTA 5 handled this really badly and the consequences felt super unrealistic and just kind of dull. The line of events and the consequences were just the same thing over and over again. You would steal a car, the police would chase you out of nowhere, and you would either lose them or they kill you. And the same happened for every single crime. It didn't matter how small it was. Now, this was significantly improved in Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, you could actually have several different options on how you can handle the crime, which then led to the consequences that would take place. You also had witnesses for the first time that could make decisions. If they wanted to, they can run off and find someone and actually communicate the crime, and in that gap, these few seconds between the act and the report, you could make a choice. You can either chase them, threaten them, or just sit back and just sort of see the full system unfold. Now, considering this is Rockstar that we're talking about, it's fair to assume that GTA 6 is going to have significantly more NPCs than Red Dead Redemption 2. And the NPCs, considering the time it takes place, of course, this is going to be a modern game. The NPCs are going to be fundamentally different from what we've seen with Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, you're going to have NPCs with phones, there's going to be CCTV everywhere, you're going to have the social media aspect as well. So the real question obviously isn't about whether the witnesses exist in the game, it's more about whether the whole chain of events, if it's going to feel much more alive, if it's going to be significantly more advanced as we hope and imagine. And so one of the main things I want to do is commit a small crime and just sort of see the whole decision sequence happen in real time with the NPCs. Kind of want to see that initial reaction to the crime, how the crowd reacts, the very moment someone pulls out their phone and starts recording and maybe posts it on social media and the video can like go viral or something. Or maybe you can just pull out a gun and aim it at them and just sort of see the reaction of the crowd. Like, does the report actually die with their patience? And this really matters because it kind of changes what crime even is in the game. If the chain is physical, I can read it and interrupt it. You can mess around with it. There are so many things you can do with it then. Crimes become a system with rules instead of just punishments that fall from the sky and you just have cops showing up and they kill you instantly. Now, here's a question that's no one asking about GTA 6. Can a crowd actually feel like a crowd? Not like hundreds of NPCs running on their own separate loops, but a real crowd. The kind where one weird moment changes the whole temperature for everyone else in that range. And look, I can't believe I'm about to compare a Rockstar game to a Ubisoft game, but Assassin's Creed Unity gave us a taste of this really early on. Those Paris crowds during the revolution, dozens of bodies packed into streets, pushing past you. Now, it was kind of rough around the edges, this was an older game, but for a moment at the time you actually felt like you were inside of something bigger than yourself. Now imagine this, but more consistent with what Rockstar generally produces. Incredible levels of detail, constantly pushing the hardware to its absolute maximum, and this would be implemented beautifully into something like a protest in Vice City or a beach party.
So Red Dead Redemption 2 gave us a glimpse on this as well. The panic would spread immediately if you did any kind of small friction or committed a crime. If you fired a gun or caused any trouble, people would start screaming immediately and everyone just sort of feeds off of other people's fear. Now imagine this on the scale of GTA 6, the game is gonna be way more dense with NPCs. You're gonna have people way more packed tighter, like we've seen in the trailers and the screenshots. And also the NPCs are expected to be much more intelligent, at least based on the patterns that were released by Take-Two Interactive, which strongly indicates that's the case. This is basically the perfect setup for a social media contagion. So another thing I would want to do is go to a place where it's really busy and there's lots of NPCs and just create a tiny friction. Maybe just shove someone, antagonize a stranger, or just stand in someone's personal space until they just do something. Just something really small, nothing illegal, just annoying enough to trigger a response and see how deep the system goes. I can already imagine people recording, taking photos. Next thing you know, you're getting tagged on social media and maybe even you can become a meme in the game. And another thing I really wanted to talk about is the weather system in the game. Now I know I keep going back to Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's the latest Rockstar game and they pushed so many systems to its absolute limit, including the weather system. This was a massive improvement from what we've seen in GTA 4 and of course GTA 5. You had storms that rolled in and passed naturally, and you could also see how it affected the NPCs. So for example, when it rained or when it stormed, the NPCs behaved completely differently depending on what the weather was. Now GTA 4 did this as well to some extent. I remember that when it would rain in the game, the NPCs react to that, so they would like cover their heads or they would like find a shelter until the rain goes away. GTA 5 completely flopped on this area, but then this of course was brought back in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now think about GTA 6 being set in a modern day Florida, where the weather goes from bright sunshine to full-on hurricanes. This has the massive potential of being way deeper than anything we've seen before. So one of the first things I really want to do is just sort of test the weather changes and overall atmosphere and how it affects the system and the NPCs. So if it's raining, do we see more car accidents? Are the beaches suddenly empty and the indoors are sort of packed? I remember there being an alleged leak on Reddit for someone claiming that they worked for Rockstar, which by the way I know is probably complete bullshit, but the point is they were saying that there were different teams within Rockstar focused on event-based NPC behavior, so things like beaches and city centers. So these are like the kind of things that I really want to test within the first day or two of GTA 6. Just tiny detail that might seem kind of boring at first, but to be honest, these are one of the biggest things that I'm most excited about. And yeah, that's it.